Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a weekly television show called Team Chicago Challenge. My website is teamchicago.tv, teamchicago.tv. We're at MCC, that's a motorcycle shop. They sell Ducati, they sell Triumph, they sell KTM. They are having an annual Chicago Norton Owners Club show, and this is an antique bike show. I got my Triumph here, and I like to win a trophy. But the next 10, 12, 14 minutes, I'm going to try to show you everything that took place right here in Villa Park, Illinois, right at MCC. We're with the Chicago Norton Owners Club, and my website is teamchicago.tv. I decided to enter my Triumph race bike, my Trackmaster frame Triumph dirt track motorcycle, but there are about 10 or 12 categories for motorcycles. Here's a great looking Norton that's in the Norton category, a great looking Kawasaki KZ900 that is in the large Japanese category. Got a Cushman Eagle in the scooter category. But we're going to look around MCC. MCC initially started out many, many years ago as just selling dirt bike. As we look in this area, they have KTM dirt bikes and street bikes. And then in the late 1980s, they took on Ducati motorcycle. And we have watched the evolution of Ducati over the years at MCC. In 1994, Triumph came back into the market, and MCC became a Triumph dealer in 1995. Over the years, this great dealership has expanded. As we look at one of their used motorcycles, this is a Triumph, I believe a 1973 special price, selling this Triumph along with other motorcycles in the used motorcycle department. MCC is a wonderful motorcycle dealer, and I'm happy I am friends with the two owners. As we see this young gal dressed as a German nurse from World War II, we get to listen to a little music and look at this World War II BMW military motorcycle.
So my name's Fred Romanowski. I live in Elmhurst. This here is Mallory. Your last name?
Hecker.
Hecker, boom. Nice, good German descent right here. What she's wearing right here is, this is what's called the Deutsches Red Kreuz, German Red Cross uniform. So she would have been a nurse in a nearby village. So everything that she's wearing here is all perfect period. You know? This is what they want. They would have maybe had a little purse on the side, something they would have had, an immediate first aid kit or something like that. You know? And then me, I'm part of a reconnaissance unit. I'm wearing a yellow piped here this time around. This is what's called the Aufklärung reconnaissance of the German Army. The bike and everything you see here is modeled after 1944, say fighting in Normandy. This is the last time they had a paint scheme of the tricolor camo leaving Russia going into France. So that's what we're looking at here. So the bike is modeled to look after the BMW R71, the opposing boxer cylinder engine with the MG34 machine gun on here. So this bike here was used reconnaissance purposes, kind of run out, kind of scurry along a little bit, kind of try to run into a little bit of trouble, see what kind of resistance you're going to get, and then get out of there, you know. And then we report back. So it's like, hey, there's this. There's a lot going on over there. There's just an encampment. They're heavily armored, or I didn't hear anything. I don't see anything. We should be all right, because we're definitely at that late war. We're low on everything. We're low on fuel. We're low on ammunition. We're low on tanks. We have no air power anymore. anymore. That's it, we're done. So now we're just trying to advance if we could, minimize our casualty, and we're also pulling back and trying to safeguard Germany. So that's where we're at, 1944. That's awesome.
Thank you, Fred, for bringing this beautiful BMW military motorcycle and giving us a little bit of history from World War II. And now we're looking at my good friend, Bob Baumgartner's land speed record Triumph. This is a bike that he takes to Bonneville to set land speed records. This bike currently holds a record. It is a 650 Triumph engine, Triumph motorcycle, 1953 pre-unit engine, and it's only 650 cc's. Top speed on this bike at Bonneville is 130 miles per hour. Bob said he had to go back to a 650 because the bikes are getting a little bit harder to kick over, but this is still a very fast 1953 Triumph motorcycle. And now we're seeing a couple of Triumphs in the show. This is a 72 Triumph.
They look good.
Not a great year for Triumph. And then a 1970 TR6 Triumph with a single carb. And now we're going to talk to another one of my friends, Con Erskine, and he's going to tell us about 3 motorcycles.
How you doing? I'm Con Erskine. I live in Des Plaines now. From Chicago originally, and I came out like every year and brought some of my old stuff for everybody to check out. Okay, over here we got a model 145 Bultaco Astro 250, first of the checkerboards. A lot of guys get a kick out of these because Santa Fe Speedway wasn't too far from here, and there were a lot of these around. I also brought out one of my favorite bikes, a 74.5 Benton 250 Hair Scrambler, which I do everything on, motocross, enduro, whatever. It can do it all, and it's a great, reliable bike. And my other race bike that I use quite a bit is a 74 Can-Am with a 75 MX2 250 motor, which is legal in ARMA and the local Midwest race series. And that's another bike, super reliable, super fast, and super fun. And I'm out here today just, letting all the other old timers check out all my old stuff. And I had a bike entered in the competition area, but Dan also has a bike over there, and it's a British, so of course I won't win because they only let British guys win. Anyways, thank you. But this is my girlfriend Debbie, and this is my brother Chris Erskine, who does most of the mechanic work at our little shop, and we're having a great time. Come on out. If you can't make it this year, come out next year. It's fun time.
Thank you, Con. As we look at a couple of BSA motorcycles, Jon Revilla, the president of the Chicago Norton Motorcycle Club, is going to start handing out trophies for the different categories, starting with the BSAs.
We have 3 awards for that class. 3rd place, 1971 BSA Lightning, gorgeous bike. Hank. Where's Hank?
Now, I'm not quite sure which motorcycle John was referring to. This one here is a plain Jane looking 71 or 72 BSA. This one also, but this one looks much better, so it is probably this one that took 3rd place in the competition for BSA motorcycles.
2nd place, BSA class, Dale Anderson, 1967 bike.
This is a great looking BSA 1967. This is what I picked for that class, but it finished in 2nd place.
Very nice bike, thank you. Class winner for the BSA class, Drew Adam for a 1969 Lightning.
Now, John did not give us the year of the winning bike, so let's look at the other BSAs. This is a 1965 Lightning Rocket. And then we're looking at a pre-unit 1955 great-looking motorcycle. And then a 1965 unit gray motorcycle. And a 69 Lightning. So one of those four motorcycles was first place in the BSA class.
Scooter class is next. It had 2 entries, so there is 1 award. That class was not sponsored by anyone. Rich for the 57 Cushman. Thank you. Seems like we get one of those every year. That's beautiful. I don't think there's any bad ones out there anymore.
Cushman Egos were very popular motor scooters, especially in the early 1960s and late 1950s when you could have gotten a license at 14. Now we're looking at a 1952 Hydra Glide Harley-Davidson. It's got the panhead engine and the pogo seat. The pogo seat rests on a spring and that gives the seat suspension. The front suspension is a more modern suspension replacing the Springer front end on these Harley-Davidsons. The other American-made bike is this 1912 Indian. It is a twin-cylinder motorcycle. It is very rare, very authentic. And in 1912, that was the first year that the Indians added a clutch. Prior to that, it was a belt drive, and in 1913, they added a transmission. And now, who is the winner of this class?
The American bikes, we had 2 entries, so there's 1 award. I think that this is pretty universal. John Herrera for that unrestored 1912 Indian. Please come up and see it.
Congratulations, John, on that great-looking Indian. Now we're looking at the custom bikes. On the end is a twin-cylinder, 2-stroke Suzuki. Next to that is a Triumph Twin. Then we got a CBX 550 Honda with the twin engine, V-twin. Then we got a CB 550 Cafe Racer, I believe. The next bike is an inline Honda custom 4-cylinder. And then this nice looking Triumph. This is the bike that I'm picking for this class. It's got an exposed primary with a belt drive. Good looking rat bike, no doubt.
Bob R. I don't know your last name, with the 75 customized CD 500 Cafe Racer, green and black. Second place in the class. Thank you for coming out. First in the custom class. I don't know which version he has. Does he have the micro digital? 75 Suzuki 500 Titan custom bike. It's also the same bike I just mentioned that won our Best in Show not too many years ago. Woo! Motorcycle Mania. How's the Chicago Norton owners do?
That was Angel's bike for Motorcycle Mania in Chicago, and he also brought this great looking Ducati. and I had a chance to talk to Angel about this bike.
My name's Angel. I actually run Motorcycle Mania shop. We do mainly service. We do a couple custom builds every year. And this is my 1969 Ducati 450 Des Beaux. It's for sale currently right now. I just don't have the time to monkey with it all the time, so I'm busy working on everybody else's bikes. Bought it from an auction, a Mecum auction, I'd say about 3 years ago. They actually had some, it was all bikes they were auctioning off. I caught a great deal on it on a Friday, and the history from down there was running last year. Didn't have a chance to get into it this year. Just way too busy.
Thank you, Angel, as we see the Honda that won second place in the custom bike category, and then the Suzuki Twin that was first place custom bike at the Norton Owner Show at MCC in Villa Park. And now we're looking at the big size Japanese motorcycles. Large CC, this is a KZ900, a gorgeous bike. I am voting for this because it's nearly perfect. This was a very important bike in the era of big bore Japanese bikes. Another Kawasaki next to it. Then another important Kawasaki. This is a GPZ 1100. This was one of the early super bikes racing with AMA. A 550 twin Honda Hawk, a bike that helped change the lightweight class in road racing. A beautiful 450 Honda, 450 twin, big important bike for the development of motorcycles in America. And here is a very rare, this is a FX 1000 Honda with the gear driven cams, very expensive setup. And we got another inline Honda 4-cylinder, great looking bike. Next is a CBX 6-cylinder Honda. 4 and 6 Racing got their name from 4-cylinder bikes and 6-cylinder bikes. Take it away, John.
By the way, DuPage Honda Yamaha West Chicago sponsored the awards for both of these Japanese bike classes. They've done it every year since we began the sponsorship with the awards. So if you get any opportunity to go see Mike and the boys out there, let them know that we mentioned them and that you heard about it there. They also sponsored the Japanese over 400cc class. We had a lot of entries in. We have 3 awards in that class. David, for the 89, David Moore, the 89 650 Nighthawk, 3rd place in class. If I talk too fast, you guys walk slow. Thank you, Dave. Dave's a longtime member of the Chicago Norton Owners Club and helps us put the show on every year. 2nd in that class, over 400cc Japanese. Greg, for the gorgeous KZ900. Thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. 1st in class for the over 400cc Japanese bikes. No stranger to those of us that do this show. You guys see his bikes every year go nuts. He brings a fleet of them. They're all beautiful. Eric Long for the 67 CB450.
Now let's take a look at the Triumphs that are entered. This is a 1953 Flathead Triumph. Could be a 350 or a 500. Next is a 68 Bonneville, a good clean looking bike. My first race bike was a 68 Bonneville. Next in line is a 72 Bonneville, very clean. Then we got this hybrid. This is a 70 frame, 67 engine. It's got a disc front wheel. Next up is a 72 Bonneville with a 16-inch rear wheel. A good number of dealers at that time changed the wheels to make the bikes look more like choppers. Then we got a 1970 with a single carb. I think it's still called a TR6. Then another beautiful mint-looking 68 with a good selection of license plates. This guy's probably owned this from new. And then another 68, and John's going to hand out the trophies.
The awards for this class were sponsored by Motoblock. Most of you know Larry Fletcher, Ton Up Club. Third place goes to Steve with the 72 Triumph. Oh, there he is. I didn't know it was. Steve Steinhauer was down here a long time. Second place goes to the Triumph TRW, Don Camus, another old friend of ours and a club member. Supported us forever. Thank you. Good to see you, dude. First place in the all-other Triumph class, Dan Smith.
Dan Smith or Dan Smith?
Smith, S-I-S-M-I-T-H. What model is yours? I didn't see it.
Yes, a little different spelling there. Now we're looking at the Nortons. This is a nice looking Norton with aftermarket rims and seat. Next up, this is a John Player Replica. Looks like the race bike. The Norton was road racing. These gorgeous looking John Player Norton race bikes. A great looking street bike here. And I voted for that bike. Then we got a 1971 Fastback. Next to that is a 1975 850 with electric start. A great looking yellow Commando. 1970 Commando, but no disc brakes. This is before disc brakes. And then this last one said a 77 with up pipes. Let's see how the trophies are handed out.
Next up, the Norton class. The awards for this class were sponsored by Expert Motorcycle Works. Most of you guys that are involved with our English bikes know Bob and that out in Hobart. We have 3 awards in this class. Third place goes to a gentleman who had to leave a little early, Tony Knapp, for the Custom Commando. I told Cliff, there he is. Second place, Norton's. Another club member, Matt Jonas, for a gorgeous 70 Commando. Which he rode here, by the way. Thank you, Matt. The winner of the Norton class, very unusual bike. We don't see them often. It's beautiful. Scott for the 74 John Player Special. Well-deserved win.
And now the class that my bike is entered in. First we're looking at a 1976 Mako 440 motocross bike. Then a 78 Can-Am motocross bike. Next to that is a CR 125 Honda. Nice clean dirt bike. A 500 Yamaha flat track racer. And then my Trackmaster Triumph, the 67 motor. Let's see how the judging goes at MCC.
We have 2 awards in that class, and we had no sponsor for that class. I apologize. Number 2, second place, Greg R. for that 76 Mako 440. Greg Ross. Thanks for coming out. First place winner, most of us know, pretty well-known guy. Dan's pretty active in a lot of respects in our motorcycling world. Dan Schmitt. Where's Dan? Yes, Dan Schmitt. He's back there somewhere. Can anybody see Dan? Oh. Dumbass.
Yes, my Trackmaster Triumph took first place in the competition class. Thank you, John, and all the members of the Chicago Norton Owners Club for a great show. Their website is cnoc.org, cnoc.org. A special thanks to MCC on St. Charles Road in Villa Park, Illinois. 630-782-2010. Their website is teammcc.com, teammcc.com. Get a hold of me. It is teamdan45@gmail.com. Look on YouTube for other great motorcycle clips with Dan Schmitt. Motorcycle racing, as we see, the 53 Vincent Rapide that won Best in Show.